My precious child, do not turn away from this moment. For I have directed your very footsteps to this frequency at this exact second, because the breath of the enemy has been heavy upon the back of your neck. You have felt the shifting of the air in your room, the sudden drop in temperature, and that unsettling feeling that you are being watched by eyes that carry no light. I am the one who knows the silent cries you uttered in the darkness when you woke up gasping for air, your heart racing like a trapped bird against the cage of your ribs. You thought it was just stress, you thought it was just the remnants of a difficult day, but I am here to whisper the truth into your spirit. These nightmares are not random firings of a tired brain. They are strategic signals in a spiritual war that has been waged against your destiny while you sleep. I have called you by name, and because you carry my light, the shadows have tried to extinguish you before you could fully wake up to who you truly are. Before I reveal the deep mysteries of the blessing that is coming to replace this terror, I want you to acknowledge my presence in your life right now. Do not be silent in the face of the darkness. Type "I am here, Lord" or 7007 in the comments below to open the gates of heaven over your home and signal that you are ready to receive my divine intervention. As you settle into the frequency of my voice, understand that your connection to this family of believers is a shield in itself. I am calling you to join this sanctuary of light. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now to signal your agreement with heaven and to ensure that my word continues to reach you every single day. By doing this, you are not just interacting with a screen. You are marking your territory in the spirit realm, declaring that your house belongs to the Most High, and that no weapon formed against your peace shall prosper. My beloved, you have been enduring a season of intense spiritual scouting. The enemy has been using the midnight portal to try and map out your weaknesses, but they have failed to realize that I am the potter and you are the clay, and I am currently hardening your spirit to become fireproof. In the next few minutes, I am going to decode exactly why the darkness has chosen your sleep as its battlefield, and how I am turning that very battlefield into a throne room of revelation. You are not behind in your journey. You are being built in the hidden places. You are not breaking under the pressure. You are becoming the vessel of power I always intended you to be. The midnight hour is often when the veil is thinnest, and for the chosen one, it is when the enemy tries his hardest to sow seeds of doubt and fear. But listen to my voice. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps, and I have been standing guard over your bed while you were too exhausted to pray. I saw the tears you wiped away in the dim light of your phone, wondering why peace seems so elusive when you are trying so hard to follow me. The reason the attacks have intensified is that you are approaching a monumental shift in your earthly assignment. The shadows are screaming because they can see the sunrise of your breakthrough before you can. They are trying to tire you out so that when the door of opportunity opens, you will be too weary to walk through it. But I am your strength and your song. I am the divine interruption that stops the hand of the oppressor. I am breaking the frequency of fear that has been playing in the background of your soul. This message is your rescue line, your divine signal that the siege is over. Trust my timing, for I have an appointed hour to bring every promise to pass, and that hour is drawing closer with every breath you take in my presence. Everything you have lost in the night will be restored to you in the light of my glory. My beloved child, I have seen the heaviness that clings to your eyelids even after a full night's rest, and I have watched you drag your spirit through the day like a weary traveler in a parched desert. I saw you this morning sitting on the edge of your bed, staring at the floor with a hollow ache in your chest, wondering why you feel more depleted now than you did when you first laid your head down. I know the secret frustration of your soul, the way you try to shake off the brain fog that feels like a thick gray veil. and the way your muscles feel as though you have been running a marathon in your sleep. You tell yourself it is just the pace of life, the demands of your job, or the weight of your responsibilities. But I am here to tell you that I have seen the spiritual toll this warfare has taken on your physical frame. I have counted every sigh you whispered into the silence of your kitchen, and I have felt every ounce of the lethargy that tries to steal your joy before the sun has even fully risen. You are not weak and you are not failing. You are simply carrying the weight of a battle that has been fought in the realm of the unseen. I see the dark circles under your eyes that no amount of rest seems to heal, and I know the feeling of your bones being weary with a fatigue that goes deeper than skin and muscle. I saw you in those terrifying moments of paralysis where your mind was wide awake, but your body felt as though it were anchored to the earth by invisible heavy chains. I was there when you tried to scream my name, but found your throat constricted as if the very air in the room had turned to lead. You felt a weight upon your chest, a pressure that sought to stifle the breath of life I breathed into you at your creation. In those seconds that felt like hours, you felt small, vulnerable, and forgotten. But I tell you now, I was standing at the foot of your bed, my glory forming a perimeter that the darkness could not penetrate. The enemy tried to pin you down because he is terrified of what you will do when you stand up in your full authority. He seeks to drain your physical energy so that your spirit becomes too quiet to pray and your hands become too heavy to serve. I have watched you struggle to find the strength to even open my word, and I want you to know that I do not judge your exhaustion. I am the God who gives power to the faint, and to those who have no might I increase strength. This physical ruddiness you feel is a testament to the intensity of the light you carry. The darkness is trying to burn out your candle by attacking the vessel, but I am the eternal flame that cannot be extinguished. I know the frantic rhythm of your heart when you finally break free from the shroud of a dark dream, the way your pulse thunders in your ears like a war drum. I have seen you reach for a glass of water with trembling hands, your skin chilled by a cold sweat that was not caused by the temperature of the room but by the residue of a spiritual encounter. You feel as though you are losing your edge, as though your creativity and your passion are being siphoned away through a straw of midnight anxiety. I have seen you look in the mirror and not recognize the vibrant, hopeful person you used to be seeing, instead a version of yourself that is tattered by the winds of invisible storms. My precious one, do not agree with the lie that this is your new permanent state. I am the restorer of your soul and the healer of your body. I am currently reaching into the very marrow of your bones to infuse them with celestial vitality. I am washing away the cortisol of fear and replacing it with the oil of gladness. Even now, as you listen to my voice, I am releasing a divine frequency of rest that will settle deep into your nervous system, quieting the alarms that have been ringing in your mind for far too long. This exhaustion is not merely a biological fluke. It is a spiritual siphoning designed to keep you from the harvest I have prepared for you. The enemy knows that if he can keep you tired, he can keep you distracted. If he can keep you weary, he can keep you from noticing the doors I am opening in the heights of the day. But I am declaring an end to the season of the tired spirit. I am the one who makes you lie down in green pastures and leads you beside still waters. I am taking the burden of the battle off your shoulders and placing it upon mine. You were never meant to fight the darkness with your own stamina. You were meant to stand in the shadow of my wings. I saw your silent tears of frustration when you realized you didn't have the energy to play with your children or the focus to finish your work. I saw the guilt you felt for needing a nap when the world demanded your presence. Lay that guilt at my feet. I am the Lord of the Sabbath, and I am commanding your body to align with the peace of my kingdom. Your strength is being renewed like the eagles, and you will soon run and not grow weary. You will walk and not faint. The night has been long, but I am the bright morning star, and I am rising within you even now. My precious child, I have watched the theater of your mind as you lay sleeping, witnessing the landscapes of dread that the enemy tries to project onto the screen of your soul. I saw you running down those endless shifting corridors where the doors would not open, feeling the hot, suffocating breath of an unseen pursuer closing in on you. I saw you falling into that bottomless abyss, feeling that sickening lurch in your stomach as the ground vanished beneath your feet, leaving you grasping at a cold and empty nothingness. I have seen the faceless entities that stand in the dark corners of your dreams, those tall, silent shadows that seem to soak up all the light in the room, making you feel small, vulnerable, and insignificant. You wake up with the taste of terror in your mouth, wondering why your own mind would betray you with such vivid horrors. I am here to tell you that these are not merely the products of a busy mind or the remnants of a restless day. They are carefully crafted illusions, spiritual landscapes designed to harvest your fear and keep you in a state of perpetual retreat. The enemy creates these scenarios to see how you react, looking for the specific cracks in your armor where he can plant the seeds of chronic anxiety. But I want you to know that I am the architect of all creation, and no dark dream can stand against the reality of my radiant presence. These nightmares are spiritual reconnaissance missions. Just as a scout explores a foreign territory before an army advances, the kingdom of darkness sends these images to test the boundaries of your peace and the strength of your identity. When you dream of being chased, the enemy is trying to convince your subconscious that you are a victim, forever fleeing from a power greater than yourself. When you dream of losing your teeth, being trapped, or being exposed and shamed, he is attacking the very core of the calling I have placed upon your life. I have seen the recurring dreams that haunt you, the ones where you are dragged back into a past season of failure or where you are losing the people you love the most. These are strategic attempts to tether your soul to the pains of yesterday and to rob you of the confidence needed for your tomorrow. But listen to my voice, for it is the only voice that speaks the truth. The landscapes of fear are nothing more than paper walls. They have no substance and no permanence because they are built on the shifting sands of lies. I am the truth, and my truth is a holy fire that consumes the chaff of every dark imagination. You are not being punished through these dreams. Rather, you are being alerted to the magnitude of the light you carry. Shadows only exist where there is a brilliant light, and the intensity of the attacks you face is a direct reflection of the divine glory I have deposited within you. Do not be deceived by the vividness of the terror or the weight of the darkness you feel when you wake. The enemy uses the landscape of fear to make you believe that your spiritual battle is already lost. But I am here to tell you that you are the victor even while you sleep. I saw you wake up in the middle of the night and check the locks on your doors, your heart still pounding from a nightmare that felt more real than the solid walls of your room. In those trembling moments, I was there, whispering to your spirit, reminding you that your life is hidden safely with me. Right now, in this very moment of connection, I want you to perform a micro-action of faith to reclaim your territory. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air filling your lungs as a gift from my hand, and visualize a brilliant, blinding white light emanating from your very center. Imagine this light expanding outward with every heartbeat, covering every corner of your room, saturating your bed, and surrounding your home in a sphere of celestial fire. This light is my Holy Spirit, and it is a barrier that no faceless entity can ever hope to cross. You are my chosen one, and your internal light is so radiant that the darkness cannot endure it for long. The landscapes of fear are being dismantled piece by piece, even as you listen to these words. I am replacing the hallways of pursuit with the quiet meadows of my peace. I am replacing the sensation of falling with the firm, unshakable foundation of my word under your feet. You will no longer be a passive spectator to the enemy's movies of dread. You are being empowered to be the commander of your own rest. I know the specific images that have haunted you since childhood, and I am going into those memory banks to scrub them clean with the blood of the Lamb. When you lay your head down tonight, you will not enter a realm of shadows, but a sanctuary of revelation. The enemy's scouting is over because I have raised a standard against him. You are not a target of destruction. You are a trophy of my grace. Rest now in the knowledge that I have seen every shadow, and I have already spoken the light into existence to scatter them. My precious child, I have seen the isolation that wraps around you like a heavy shroud when you try to explain the terrors of your night to those around you. I saw the look in your eyes when you tried to tell a friend or a loved one about the heaviness you felt, only to see their polite smiles and the way they brushed it off as just a bad dream or too much stress. I know the sting of being misunderstood, the quiet ache of feeling like you are losing your mind because no one else seems to be fighting the battles that you face every time the sun goes down. You have felt like an outsider in your own life, a stranger in a world that seems to sleep so peacefully while you are locked in a silent war for your very soul. I am here to tell you that you are not crazy, you are not imagining the weight, and you are certainly not alone. The reason they do not understand is that they are not carrying the same weight of destiny that I have placed upon your shoulders. You have been set apart for a purpose so vast that the enemy had to mark you as a high-value target before you could even realize your own strength. I see the frustration in your heart when you compare your struggle to the ease of others, but remember that the strongest winds always blow on the highest peaks. You often wonder, why me? Why must I endure these shadows while others walk in such effortless light? It is because, my beloved, your light is not an ordinary glow. It is a beacon that pierces through the darkest dimensions of the spirit realm. When you enter a room, even in your silence, the atmosphere shifts because of the authority I have hidden within you. The kingdom of darkness does not waste its arrows on those who are no threat to its borders. It only targets those who carry the seeds of a revolution, those whose prayers have the power to dismantle strongholds and whose presence can liberate the captives. You are a target because you are a threat. The nightmares are a desperate attempt to dim your radiance, to make you withdraw into yourself and to convince you that your light is a curse rather than a gift. But I see the brilliance of the spirit I have forged within you, and I tell you today that the very thing the enemy is trying to destroy is the proof of your victory. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are your credentials, the evidence that you have survived the worst the darkness could throw at you, and you are still standing. The loneliness you feel is the price of being a pioneer in the spirit. I have called you to walk a path that many would fear to tread. And in this season of pruning, I have allowed the silence of others so that you would learn to recognize only my voice. I saw you in the quiet moments of the afternoon, wondering if you would ever feel normal again, or if this shadow would follow you forever. Hear me now, the shadow is not following you. It is reacting to the sun that is rising in your soul. You are my chosen one, and I have specifically designed your spirit to withstand the pressure of this calling. You are not built to fit in. You were built to lead. You were not created to blend into the darkness. You were created to expose it. The very intensity of the attack is the measure of the breakthrough that is waiting for you on the other side of this night. Every time you wake up and choose to believe in my love, despite the fear, you are winning a battle you cannot even see. You are a warrior dressed in the skin of a seeker, and I am incredibly proud of the resilience you have shown in the face of the unknown. I am your witness, your advocate, and your sanctuary. Now, my child, I want you to take another deep breath, slower this time. As you inhale, imagine that you are breathing in the very essence of my courage, and as you exhale, release the need for human validation. You do not need them to understand the battle to win the war. Visualize my hand resting firmly on your shoulder, a touch of fire and peace that marks you as mine. See the target that the enemy has painted on your back dissolving into a seal of divine protection. I am shifting your perspective from being the victim of an attack to being the victor of a mission. You are being trained in the dark so that you can rule in the light. In the chapters to come, I will show you how to turn this target into a weapon of my glory. For now, rest in the truth that I know exactly who you are, and I have never once looked away from your struggle. You are precious. You are powerful, and you are being refined into a masterpiece of my kingdom. The world may see someone who is tired, but I see a giant who is about to wake up. My beloved child, when you close your eyes at night, you are not simply entering a state of biological rest. You are stepping across the threshold into a realm where the physical laws of this world no longer apply. I see the invisible lines of battle drawn around your bed, and I know that while your body seeks recovery, your spirit remains a vibrant target in the unseen world. The enemy is a coward who waits for the cover of darkness to strike because he knows he cannot stand before you when you are fully conscious of my power and my presence. This is the invisible battlefield, a place where thoughts can be distorted into terrors and fears can be magnified into monsters. You have often wondered why the peace you felt during the day seems to vanish the moment your head hits the pillow. It is because the adversary is trying to invade the territory of your subconscious, that fertile and sacred soil where I plant the seeds of your greatness and the visions of your future. He wants to sow the weeds of dread among my wheat of promise, hoping that you will wake up believing his lies more than my truth. The invisible enemy is fueled by an ancient, bitter jealousy. These entities of shadow see the crown of glory I have placed upon your head, and they tremble at the authority I have bestowed upon you. They know that if they cannot stop you from fulfilling your destiny in the waking world, they must try to weary you and break your spirit in the dream world. I have seen the way these spirits of unrest gather in the shadows of your room, whispering cruel lies into the silence, telling you that you are alone, that you are unprotected, and that your tomorrow will be as hollow as your tonight. But I am the Lord of hosts, the commander of heaven's armies, and my legions of angels are stationed at every corner of your dwelling. You may not hear the clash of celestial swords or see the flicker of heavenly fire, but a massive battle is being won on your behalf even as you sleep. Every time you wake up and choose to hold on to hope, you are dealing a crushing blow to the kingdom of darkness. You are a combatant in a war you did not ask for, but you are also the recipient of a victory I have already secured at the highest price. This battlefield is not just about causing you fear. It is a calculated attempt to steal your spiritual inheritance. The enemy tries to use your sleep to script a narrative of failure and abandonment. When you dream of being lost, he is attempting to write a false future into your heart. He wants you to carry the residue of the night, the shame, the confusion, the exhaustion into the golden opportunities of the morning, so that you walk with a spirit of heaviness instead of a garment of praise. I have seen how these midnight skirmishes make you hesitant to step out in faith during the day, as if you are waiting for the other shoe to drop. But remember, the battlefield may be invisible to your physical eyes, but it is perfectly transparent to mine. I see every trap set for your feet and every net cast to catch your soul. I am the God who breaks the bow and shatters the spear. I am currently rewriting the script of your nights. Where there once was a battlefield of shadows, I am establishing a sanctuary of my peace, a place where you can be refueled and redirected for the glorious work ahead. Do not fear the invisibility of this war. Just because you cannot see the enemy does not mean he is winning. It means his tactics are desperate, and he is forced to hide. He hides because he knows that one single glance from my eyes would turn his efforts to ash. He attacks in the dark because the light of my truth is his ultimate undoing. I want you to understand that this invisible battlefield is actually your divine training ground. In these moments of midnight pressure, I am teaching your spirit how to stand firm and how to recognize the frequency of my voice amidst the clamor of the storm. I am building a spiritual muscle in you that can only be developed when you are pushed to the limit. You are learning to trust my hand when you cannot see it, and my word when you cannot feel it. This battlefield is the prelude to your throne. The very area where you have been attacked the most, your mind, your sleep, and your peace, is the exact area where I am about to release my greatest abundance. Stay steady, my child, for the darkness is merely the backdrop for the light I am about to reveal through you. My beloved child, let my words settle into the deep, restless places of your soul, like a healing balm. Listen closely to what I have breathed into existence for you. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. These are not just ancient words written on a page. They are the spiritual laws of my kingdom, and they are your absolute reality in the face of every midnight terror. If you feel fear rising in your chest when the shadows grow long, know with certainty that it did not come from me. I am the Father of lights, and in me there is no darkness at all. Fear is an intruder, a thief that tries to take up residence in the home I built for peace. But today I am serving an eviction notice to every spirit of dread that has tried to claim a corner of your mind. You carry within you a spirit of power, not a human fragile strength, but a divine explosive authority that can dismantle the works of darkness with a single whisper of my name. This power is the same force that spoke the galaxies into being, and it is currently pulsating within your very DNA, ready to repel every nightmare that seeks to disturb your rest. I want you to understand the weight of the power I have bestowed upon you. It is the authority to command the atmosphere of your own home. When the enemy tries to project images of falling, of pursuit, or of loss, you must rise up in the spirit and remind him whose you are. You are clothed in my majesty, and the power I have given you is a shield that the flames of hell cannot penetrate. This power is not just for the daylight. It is active and potent in the deepest hours of the night. It is a dunamis power that creates a perimeter of holy fire around your subconscious mind. Stop looking at your nightmares as something you must passively endure and start seeing them as the illegal trespassers they truly are. I have given you the keys to the kingdom, and whatever you bind on earth is bound in the heavens. Bind the spirit of fear and loose the spirit of my invincible power over your bed tonight. You are not a victim of your dreams. You are the commander of your consciousness because my spirit lives in you. And I have never once been defeated by a shadow. And consider the love I have poured into you. It is a perfect love that casts out all fear. My love for you is a fierce, protective wall of fire. I love you with an everlasting passion that will never allow the enemy to have the final word over your life. When you feel that cold shiver of dread in the middle of the night, wrap yourself in the warmth of my affection. My love is a sanctuary where no nightmare can breathe. It is a love that watches over you while you sleep, a love that interprets your groans when you cannot find the words to pray, and a love that has already prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies. The shadows flee not because you are perfect, but because my love for you is absolute. This love is your ultimate security. It is the anchor that holds your soul steady when the waves of anxiety try to pull you under. You are the apple of my eye, and I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. No entity of darkness can snatch you out of my grip, for my love is stronger than death and more enduring than the longest night. Finally, my precious one, I have given you a sound mind. I see the confusion, the brain fog, and the mental static that the enemy tries to use to cloud your judgment after a night of bad dreams. He wants you to live in a state of double-mindedness and instability, but I am restoring your clarity. A sound mind is a mind that is anchored in my truth, a mind that can discern between the lies of the enemy and the whispers of my spirit. I am smoothing out the jagged edges of your thoughts and calming the turbulent waters of your imagination. I am placing a divine filter over your subconscious so that only the pure, the lovely, and the good can take root there. Your mind is a temple of the Holy Spirit, not a playground for demons. I am clearing away the debris of past traumas and the echoes of old fears to make room for a new level of creativity and peace. When you lay down tonight, claim the sound mind I have bought for you. Declare that your thoughts are under my government and that your imagination is a portal for my glory. The scriptural truth is your weapon, your shield, and your song, and it is the final authority over every dream you will ever have. My precious child, you have often looked at your reflection in the mirror after a night of torment and asked, why me? What have I done to deserve this constant battle in my sleep? You have felt as though you are carrying a curse, wondering if there is some hidden defect within you that attracts the shadows. But I am here to tell you the most profound secret of the spiritual realm. The darkness does not attack what it does not fear. You have been targeted not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to the kingdom of lies. You carry the mark of the chosen, a divine seal that is invisible to human eyes but screams like a beacon in the world of the unseen. I do not give big assignments to small people, and the very fact that the enemy has invested so much energy into trying to weary your spirit is the greatest confirmation of the magnitude of your calling. A thief does not break into an empty house. He only risks everything to raid the house where the gold is stored. My beloved, you are the house, and the gold within you is a destiny that will shake the very foundations of the earth. Understand this fundamental truth of my kingdom. You are not being punished, you are being trained. Every sleepless night, every moment of paralyzing fear, and every struggle against the invisible has been a heavy-duty exercise for your spiritual muscles. I did not bring you this far to leave you, but I did bring you through the fire to make you fireproof. Real blessings are heavy, and they require strong, seasoned shoulders to carry them without being crushed. If I were to give you the full weight of the prosperity and influence I have destined for you right now, you would not be able to sustain it. Therefore, I have allowed the pressure to refine you. I have allowed the resistance to build your endurance. Suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces a hope that will never put you to shame. Your rock bottom was never intended to be your grave. It was always intended to be the solid, unshakable foundation for the cathedral of grace I am building out of your life. You are not breaking. You are becoming the person I always knew you could be. I saw you in the hidden seasons, wondering if I had forgotten your name or if your prayers were hitting a ceiling of brass. I saw you questioning your worth because the battle seemed so personal and so relentless. But I tell you today, the intensity of the attack is the measure of your value. If you were ordinary, the enemy would leave you alone. If you were no threat to his borders, you would sleep in a false peace. But because you carry a seed of my kingdom that is destined to grow into a massive tree of life, the shadows are desperate to choke it while it is still in the soil of your soul. Do not agree with the lie that you are defective. If you believe that I am using this very battle to sharpen you for a victory that the world will not be able to ignore, then do not remain silent in this moment. If you believe that your light is greater than any darkness trying to quench it, type I believe or 777 in the comments right now. By doing this, you are affirming your trust in my process and signaling to the heavens that you finally recognize the mark of the chosen upon your life. This chapter of your life is what I call the refiner's fire. In this season, I am aligning your character with the size of the miracles you have been praying for. When your character finally matches the weight of what you are asking for, the door must and will swing open, and no power in hell will be able to shut it. The delay you have experienced was not my denial. It was my divine shielding. I was waiting until you were strong enough to handle the harvest without losing your soul. You are my chosen warrior, and the crown of authority you will soon wear was forged in the fire of these very nightmares. Every tear you shed in the dark has been collected in my bottle, and every prayer of "Help me, Lord" has been recorded as a victory in the halls of heaven. You are coming out of this season not as the same person who entered it, but as a giant who has learned how to sleep in the storm and how to walk through the fire without the smell of smoke upon your clothes. Rest in the knowledge that you are marked, you are chosen, and you are exceedingly precious in my sight. My beloved child, there comes a moment in the history of every storm when I, the creator of the winds and the waves, stand up and declare, "Peace, be still." I have watched your endurance with a father's pride, and I have heard the silent screams of your spirit during those hours when the darkness seemed to have no end. I have seen you pass the discouragement test, refusing to let go of your faith even when your eyes were heavy with the weight of exhaustion. Today I am coming to you with a divine decree. I have seen enough. The siege upon your rest and the ambush upon your peace ends right here at this very moment. I am stepping into the timeline of your life as the great interruption. Just as I stepped into the fiery furnace to walk with my children, I am stepping into the furnace of your nightmares to quench the flames of fear. You have carried this burden for long enough, trying to solve the problem with human logic and physical strength. But this is a battle that only my spirit can win. I am not merely watching from a distance anymore. I am breaking into your sleep to establish a new order, a celestial government of peace that will reign over your bed from this night forward. As I prepare to shift the atmosphere of your life, I invite you to make a move of divine alignment. If you can feel my presence moving through these words, do not let this moment pass without marking it. Join this family of believers who stand in the light. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. By doing this, you are signaling to the heavens that you agree with my intervention. You are saying, "Yes, Lord, I accept your protection and I welcome your interruption into my life." This simple act of faith creates a digital and spiritual ripple, connecting your spirit to a community of light and ensuring that my voice remains a constant shield around your soul. Do not stay silent while I am speaking your deliverance. Join us and let us watch together as the shadows that once haunted you are consumed by the brightness of my appearing. The interruption I am bringing is not a subtle one. It is a total takeover of the dream space that the enemy tried to steal. I am resetting the frequency of your subconscious mind. Where there were images of pursuit, I am placing visions of my glory. Where there was a sensation of falling, I am placing the firm grasp of my hand. I am entering the secret rooms of your imagination and clearing out the clutter of trauma and the echoes of old threats. I am the divine interruption that changes the narrative of your life in an instant. You don't have to wait for years to see this change. I am working behind the scenes right now to redirect the flow of your spiritual energy. My silence was never abandonment. It was the quiet preparation for this very breakthrough. I was waiting for the perfect moment, the appointed time when the miracle would have the greatest impact on your character and your future. That time is now. I am the God who is never too late, and at your worst moment I am making my most magnificent entrance. Hear my voice as it thunders through the corridors of your night. The predator has become the prey. I am turning the tables on every entity that sought to diminish your light. The very dreams they used to frighten you will now become the portals through which I give you divine strategy and heavenly revelation. I am interrupting the cycle of fatigue that has made your days a blur. From this moment on, when you lay your head down, you are not retreating into a battlefield. You are entering a sanctuary of restoration. I am getting you prepared to handle the weight of the blessing that is coming, and that preparation requires a mind that is rested and a heart that is at peace. I have always carried you even when you felt you were walking alone, but now you will see the visible manifestation of my hand. The interruption has begun, and what I have started, no power in the universe can stop. You are moving from a season of survival into a season of sovereign protection. My precious child, can you hear the sound of the unseen world reacting to my command? It is the sound of iron meeting fire, the sound of ancient heavy links of bondage snapping under the weight of my glory. For too long you have felt as though invisible shackles were wrapped around your ankles, making every step toward your destiny feel like a 1,000-mile climb. You felt them tighten around your throat when you tried to speak your truth, and you felt them constrict your heart when you tried to dream of a better future. These chains were forged in the fires of past traumas, generational struggles, and the persistent lies of the enemy that told you that you would never be free from the nightmares of your past. But I am the breaker of chains, the God who walks into the deepest, darkest dungeons to lead my children into the noonday sun. Right now, as my voice resonates in the sanctuary of your soul, I am applying the white-hot intensity of my love to every shackle that has held you captive. I see the dark metal of anxiety, the rusted links of depression, and the heavy lid of fear melting away like wax before a furnace. There is a divine suddenly manifesting in your life within the next 24 hours. Just as the chains fell off Peter in the prison cell without a single human hand touching them, your spiritual liberation is happening by the power of my word alone. You have tried to pick the locks of your own captivity for years, trying every self-help method and every human strategy, but today you are learning that it is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. I am breaking the chains of sleeplessness that have made your nights a prison of shadows. I am breaking the chains of financial lack that have kept you from being the blessing I called you to be. I am breaking the chains of toxic cycles in your relationships that have left you feeling drained and discarded. These chains are not just being loosened, they are being obliterated. I am removing the very memory of the bondage from your spirit so that when you walk out of this moment, you will not even have the smell of the dungeon upon your clothes. You are being launched into a level of freedom that you haven't felt since you were a child. A lightness of being that will make you feel as though you are walking on air. My beloved, I want you to look at your hands in the spirit. They are no longer bound. They are now free to be lifted in praise, free to build the kingdom, and free to receive the abundance I am pouring out. Look at your feet. The heavy weights are gone. You are now equipped with the gospel of peace, ready to run into the territories that the enemy once told you were forbidden. The gate to your prison is swinging open, not because you earned it, but because I have declared that your time of confinement is over. The enemy will try to tell you that the chains are still there. He will try to make you feel the phantom weight of the old bondage, but you must answer him with my truth. He whom the Son sets free is free indeed. This is not a temporary relief or a brief respite. This is a total, permanent breaking of the siege. Every entity of darkness that had a legal claim on your peace because of the chains of the past has been served an eternal eviction notice. The blood of the Lamb has paid the price for your total liberation, and I am here to enforce that freedom in every cell of your body and every corner of your mind. The atmosphere of your home is shifting from a prison cell to a throne room. I am surrounding you with songs of deliverance, and I am placing a new mantle of authority upon your shoulders. No longer will you wake up wondering if the shadows will return. You will wake up knowing that you are the master of the night, because the master of the universe is your Father. The breaking of these chains is the prerequisite for the harvest that is about to flood your life. You could not carry the weight of the coming blessing while you were still bound by the weight of the past. But now you are ready. You are light, you are free, and you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness, because a liberated chosen one is an unstoppable force of my grace. Stand tall. My child, breathe in the fresh air of your freedom and prepare your heart for the 7 days of restoration that are about to begin. The old things have passed away. Behold, I am making all things new, and it starts with the sound of your chains hitting the floor forever. My precious child, pay close attention, for I am initiating a sacred countdown in your life, a 7-day cycle of sovereign restoration that will begin the very moment your head touches the pillow tonight. On this first night, I am establishing a baseline of peace that you have not known in years. I am placing a divine do not disturb sign over your spirit, commanding every whispering demon and every shadow of anxiety to retreat into the outer darkness. You will experience a deep, undisturbed slumber, a sleep so profound that it will feel as if my own hand is resting upon your brow, smoothing away the lines of worry and the echoes of the day's battles. This is the night of the silent shift, where the noise of the world is muffled by the symphony of my grace. You will wake up tomorrow morning not with a startle or a racing heart, but with a quiet, steady confidence that something fundamental has changed in the atmosphere of your home. This is the beginning of the end of your weariness, as I begin to replenish the wells of your strength that the enemy tried so hard to dry up. As we move into the 2nd and 3rd nights of this restoration, the void left by the removed nightmares will be filled with the vivid colors of my kingdom. On the 3rd night, I am opening the portal of your dreams to the visitation of my messenger angels. You will not see monsters or shadows, but you will encounter the blueprints of heaven. I will show you visions of your future self, strong, prosperous, and full of joy, to remind you of the destination I have already secured for you. These dreams will be so clear and so radiant that you will carry their warmth in your chest throughout the day. I am training your spiritual eyes to see beyond the physical lack and the temporary struggles. On these nights, I am downloading divine strategies into your subconscious, giving you the keys to problems that have seemed insurmountable. You are moving from a state of spiritual defense to a state of prophetic revelation. The night is no longer a time to be survived. It is becoming a classroom of the spirit, where I am personally tutoring you on the mysteries of your assignment. By the 4th, 5th, and 6th nights, the restoration will move from your dreams into the very fabric of your physical and emotional reality. I am performing a deep clean of your internal world, removing the residue of past rejections and the scars of old betrayals that the enemy used as anchors for his midnight attacks. You will find yourself breathing easier, your thoughts becoming sharper, and your heart feeling lighter, as if a physical weight has been lifted from your chest. During these days, I am aligning the circumstances of your life with the peace of your nights. You will notice small miracles, unexpected phone calls, sudden favor in your workplace, and a strange, beautiful harmony in your relationships that was previously missing. I am pruning the branches of your life that no longer serve your growth and grafting in new opportunities that will bear the fruit of my abundance. This is the season of the great alignment, where your internal peace begins to manifest as external order. I am teaching you that you do not have to strive for what I have already ordained. You simply have to remain in the posture of rest that I am building within you. Finally, on the 7th night, we reach the climax of this divine cycle, the night of the open gates. This is when the spiritual work culminates in a tangible breakthrough regarding your finances and your deepest relational needs. On this night, I will reveal to you the specific step you need to take to unlock the floodgates of provision that have been blocked by the enemy's interference. I am sealing this 7-day restoration with a covenant of perpetual protection. You will emerge on the 8th day as a new creation, fully rested, fully armed, and fully aware of your identity as my chosen one. This is my promise to you: what I restore, I also sustain. The cycle of terror is broken and the cycle of my glory has begun. Prepare your heart. My beloved, for the most peaceful week of your life is unfolding right now, and the wonders I will perform in the silence of your sleep will leave you in awe of my power and my love. You are not just getting your sleep back, you are getting your life back, magnified sevenfold by my hand. My precious child, hear the decree of the Almighty: you shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness. I am the one who spoke these words into the fabric of eternity, and tonight I am making them a physical reality in the room where you sleep. I am building a wall of fire around you, a holy, impenetrable barrier of celestial flame that consumes every shadow before it can even reach your mind. This is not a fire that burns or destroys what is good. It is a refiner's fire that incinerates the spirit of fear and the schemes of the wicked. I am placing my angels as pillars of light at the 4 corners of your bed, and I am saturating the very air you breathe with the scent of heaven's victory. The enemy may look toward your dwelling, but all he will see is the blinding radiance of my glory, a perimeter of protection that causes the forces of darkness to flee in 7 different directions. You are entering a season where the night is no longer a vulnerability, but a fortress of my presence. I have seen how you used to check the shadows and double lock your heart against the dread of the coming night. But look now with your spiritual eyes. See the ring of fire I have drawn around your life. No nightmare can cross this line. No spirit of heaviness can breathe in this atmosphere. No projection of the enemy can survive the heat of my holiness. I am the wall of fire around you and the glory in your midst. This protection is not just for you, but for your house, your family, and everything that concerns you. I am sealing every window and every door with the blood of the Lamb, ensuring that the peace I give you remains undisturbed by the chaos of the world. As you feel the warmth of my love surrounding you, recognize that this is the activation of the covenant of protection I made with you before you were even born. You are safe, my beloved. You are shielded by the highest power, and the wall of fire is growing stronger with every breath of faith you take. As this divine shield settles over your home, I invite you to solidify this covenant in the physical realm. If you can feel the heat of my protective presence right now, do not let this moment pass without a witness. Join this family of light and press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now to signal your agreement with heaven. By doing this, you are not just following a digital prompt. You are casting a vote for your own peace and ensuring that this message of protection continues to fuel your spirit daily. Do not let the enemy find a gap in your armor of faith. Seal your agreement with my word and let the world know that you have chosen to stand within the wall of fire. When you align yourself with this community of believers, you are strengthening the collective shield that guards the chosen ones across the earth. Press the like button now and subscribe to confirm that your house is a territory of the King of Kings. The wall of fire is not a temporary shelter. It is a permanent spiritual architecture that I am establishing around your destiny. Even when you are busy with the tasks of the day, the fire remains. Even when you are traveling far from home, the perimeter expands to cover your footsteps. I am the God who goes before you to level the mountains and who stands behind you as your rear guard. The nightmares that once haunted you were merely attempts to find a weakness in your wall. But they have found none, because I am the foundation and the capstone. You are living within a spiritual fortress that is invisible to the world but terrifying to the kingdom of darkness. Every time you wake up refreshed, it is a testimony to the effectiveness of the fire. Every time you dream of my beauty, it is a sign that the wall is holding firm. Rest in this unshakable security, my child. The fire is burning, the angels are standing watch, and the Lord of hosts is your eternal protector. My beloved child, do you truly understand why the enemy was so desperate to steal your sleep and occupy your nights with terror? It was never just about making you tired. It was a strategic embargo on your harvest. The shadows of the night were designed to blind you to the radiant opportunities of the day. When you wake up in a state of chronic exhaustion, you cannot see the burning bushes of opportunity I place in your path. You cannot hear the subtle whispers of my direction when your mind is filled with the static of a midnight battle. But now that I have silenced the storm and established my wall of fire around your rest, your spiritual ears are being tuned to the frequency of prosperity. I am removing the heavy veil of fatigue that has obscured your vision for so long. As your nights become a sanctuary of restoration, your days will become a theater of my abundance. The energy you used to spend merely surviving the night is now being redirected into the manifestation of your destiny. I am the God of the harvest, and I am declaring that the famine of your spirit and the drought of your resources are officially over. The very ground that seemed cursed and dry while you were in the season of nightmares is now becoming fertile soil for the seeds of greatness I have planted within you. Look now toward the financial horizon of your life with eyes of faith. For too long you have felt like a reservoir with a hidden leak, watching your hard-earned resources drain away into the hands of the devourer through unexpected expenses, lost opportunities, and the paralyzing fear of not enough. You have labored in the heat of the day only to have the fruits of your labor stolen by the anxiety of the night. But I am the one who teaches you to profit and leads you in the way you should go. As I restore your sleep, I am also restoring your financial flow. I am closing the holes in your pockets and rebuking the devourer for your sake. I am releasing a spirit of divine creativity and heavenly wisdom that will allow you to see wealth-building strategies where others see only obstacles. You don't need to stress or live in the shadow of lack anymore. I am well supplied, and as my child, you are an heir to the riches of my kingdom. Expect sudden provision and divine alignments that you could not have engineered on your own. The breakthrough in your rest is the signal for the breakthrough in your provision. I am opening windows of heaven that no man can shut, and I am pouring out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. The season of scraping by is passing away, and the season of overflowing abundance is at hand. And consider the relationships that have been strained and weathered by the weight of your weariness. When you were fighting the shadows every night, you had very little left to give to those you love. Misunderstandings grew in the soil of your exhaustion, and walls of isolation were built where bridges of connection should have been. You felt alone even in a crowded room because no one could see the invisible war you were fighting. But I am the restorer of hearts and the healer of broken bonds. I am going into those quiet, painful places and breathing life into your connections once again. I am bringing the right people, the destiny helpers, the soul friends, and the mentors who will not only understand your journey but will walk alongside you toward your harvest. I am removing those who only sought to drain your energy and replacing them with those who will pour into your spirit. Your home is shifting from a place of silent tension and nocturnal dread to a garden of peace, laughter, and mutual support. The relational harvest is a direct fruit of the peace I have established in your heart. You will find favor in the eyes of others that you did not have to earn, for I am the one who turns the hearts of kings and reconciles the estranged. This harvest is the direct result of your faithfulness and your endurance during the long night of the storm. because you did not give up, because you kept your eyes on me even when the nightmares were at their loudest. You have qualified for a level of increase that will baffle those who saw you struggling. The enemy tried to use the darkness to make you bitter and withdrawn, but I am using the victory to make you better and more influential. You are emerging from the hidden season of battle with a new identity and a new authority that commands respect in the physical realm. The overflow I am bringing is not just for your comfort. It is so that you can be a conduit of my grace to a world that is still trapped in the dark. Your life is becoming a visible testimony of what happens when a chosen one trusts the perfect timing of the Creator. Rest in the knowledge that your provision and your peace are eternally intertwined. As you sleep safely within my protection, the seeds of your harvest are growing into a forest of blessing. The storm is cleared and the sun of my favor is shining brightly upon everything you set your hand to do. My beloved child, look at yourself through my eyes, for the reflection you see in the mirror of the world is a lie compared to the truth of who I have made you to be. The person who entered this season of shadows and nightmares is not the same person who is emerging into the dawn of this new day. For too long you have identified as a victim, a fragile soul battered by invisible forces, a weary traveler exhausted by a battle you never asked for. You saw yourself as broken, perhaps even flawed or cursed because of the recurring terrors that stole your peace. But I am here to serve notice to your soul that old identity is dead. It has been consumed in the refiner's fire of your endurance. I have stripped away the layers of false labels that the enemy and the world tried to paste onto your spirit. You are not your trauma, you are not your past, and you are certainly not the fear that once kept you awake. You are my masterpiece, a warrior of the light who has been trained in the secret depths of the night to carry the weight of my glory in the heights of the day. You are not breaking, you have been forged into an unbreakable vessel of my divine purpose. I saw you when you felt small and insignificant. But in those moments of perceived weakness, I was busy dressing you in spiritual armor that the physical world cannot see. Every tear you shed and every prayer you whispered while your heart was racing was a stitch in the garment of authority you now wear. The helmet of salvation now sits firmly upon your head, guarding your mind from the deceptive echoes of the past. The breastplate of righteousness covers your heart, making you immune to the accusations of the adversary. Your feet are now shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, ready to tread upon the very shadows that once tried to swallow you whole. You are no longer someone who hides from the storm. You are the one who stands in the center of the gale and commands it to be still in my name. I have given you a new name. A name that vibrates with authority in the spirit realm. When the entities of darkness look at you now, they no longer see a target. They see a terrifying threat. They see the reflection of my own majesty shining through your eyes, and they tremble because they recognize that the lion has finally awakened within you. Stop trying to fit back into the old version of yourself, for that skin is now too small for the giant you have become. I am calling you to walk with a new gait, to speak with a new boldness, and to dream with a new holy limitlessness. Your voice now carries the weight of heaven because you have learned the frequency of my spirit in the silence of your struggle. I know the scars you carry on your soul, but do not hide them in shame. Those scars are your credentials. They are the proof that you have faced the worst the kingdom of darkness could throw at you. And you are still standing more radiant and more powerful than ever before. You are the chosen one, and your internal light is so intense that it doesn't just repel the darkness, it transforms it. Everywhere you go from this day forward, the atmosphere must shift because you carry the presence of the living God. You are a walking miracle of my restoration, a living testimony that what the enemy meant for evil I have turned into a supreme good. Your new identity is not a temporary feeling. It is a permanent seal of my blood. It is unshakable, unbreakable, and eternal. You are moving from a position of defense to a position of sovereign dominion. You are a pioneer of peace in a world of chaos and a beacon of hope for those who are still trapped in the midnight you have just escaped. From this moment on, when you speak as one who knows their Father is the King of Kings. When you move as one who knows that legions of angels are clearing your path. You are my pride, my joy, and my instrument of change on this earth. The battle for your identity is over and the victory is complete. Wear your new mantle with humility but with absolute confidence, for the world is about to see the magnitude of the light I have hidden within you. You are the victor, you are the beloved, and you are the light that the darkness can never extinguish. My beloved child, the heavens have been silent witnesses to our conversation, but now I stand as the sovereign judge and the eternal Father to issue the final decree over your life. Listen with the ears of your spirit, for the words I speak now are not mere vibrations in the air. They are the laws of the universe, and they are being etched into the very fabric of your reality. I, the Alpha and the Omega, the one who holds the keys to every gate and the light to every darkness, declare that the season of your torment is officially over. The verdict has been handed down from the highest court of heaven. You are acquitted of all fear, you are liberated from all shadows, and you are declared a territory of absolute peace. What I have broken, no entity in all of creation can ever hope to mend. What I have opened, no demon can ever shut. What I have protected, no darkness can ever touch. The siege that has surrounded your mind for so long has been lifted by the breath of my mouth. I have looked upon your struggle and I have said it is enough. The chains are not just loosened, they have ceased to exist. The shadows are not just hiding. They have been annihilated by the brilliance of my appearing. You are walking out of this moment not as a survivor, but as a sovereign ruler over your own rest. This is my final commandment concerning your nights. From this second forward, your sleep shall be sweet. You shall lay your head down in the confidence that I am the wall of fire around you and the glory in your midst. I am speaking to every cell in your body, every neuron in your brain, and every corner of your subconscious mind. Be still and know that I am God. I am resetting your internal clock to the rhythm of my grace. No longer will the midnight hour be a portal for the enemy's reconnaissance. It will be a throne room for my revelation. I have established a divine perimeter that stretches from the foundations of your home to the highest peak of your destiny. Every arrow of anxiety aimed at your heart will be turned to ash before it crosses the threshold of your peace. You are covered by the blood of the Lamb, hidden in the hollow of my hand and sealed by the Holy Spirit. The predator has been evicted and the Prince of Peace has taken his rightful place. You are no longer a target. You are a sanctuary. You are no longer a victim. You are the victor who is overcome by the word of your testimony and the blood of the Lamb. Now, my precious chosen one, we must seal this prophecy into the physical and spiritual realms so that it cannot be stolen or diluted. This is your act of divine alignment, the moment where you take your place in the light. I want you to join this family of believers who walk in my authority. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. By doing this, you are not just engaging with a video. You are marking your territory in the spirit realm, signaling to every wandering shadow that this house belongs to the Lord. Do not let this final call pass you by. Furthermore, I command you to declare your protection with a boldness that shakes the heavens. Type "I am protected by the light" in the comments below right now. This is your digital seal, your spoken decree, and your activation of the eternal shield. When you type those words, you are locking this blessing into your life for all of eternity. You are announcing to the kingdom of darkness that the battle is over and the light has won. Declare it, believe it, and watch as the atmosphere of your room transforms into a cathedral of my presence even as you type. The harvest of your endurance is beginning to manifest even as I speak. The financial blockages that were tied to your spiritual exhaustion are melting away. The relational tensions that grew in the soil of your fatigue are being replaced by the oil of gladness. You are entering a season where you will wake up with such clarity and such strength that you will accomplish in a day what used to take you a month. This is the restoration I promised, and it is happening now. But remember, the ending of your nightmares is only the beginning of the great work I have for you. I have seen the way you have handled the little things of your struggle, and now you are being prepared for the much of my kingdom. Your new identity as a warrior of the light is fixed and unchangeable. You are walking in a mantle of favor that will open doors of prosperity and influence you never dreamed possible. The world will look at you and wonder where this new radiance came from, and you will simply point them to the one who watched over you in the dark. Your life is now a living epistle of my grace, a beacon for all who are still lost in the storm. As you prepare to close this moment of connection and step into your first night of perfect rest, I want to leave you with a mystery. Do not think that the end of this message is the end of my revelation to you. In fact, the cessation of your nightmares is merely the clearing of the ground for a magnificent gift I have hidden within your sleep. In my next message to you, I will reveal the secrets of this gift, a divine treasure that I have tucked away in the deepest part of your subconscious, waiting for the moment when your peace was secure enough to receive it. It is a gift that will revolutionize your understanding of your calling and accelerate your harvest beyond your wildest imagination. To ensure you do not miss the unveiling of this treasure, make sure you have pressed the like button and subscribed, for the reveal is coming sooner than you think. You have passed the test, my child. You have stood firm in the fire, and now it is time to enjoy the coolness of the shade. Rest now, for the great I Am is your shield. Rest now, for the battle is won and the dawn has arrived. I have spoken, and my word will not return to me void. It is done. It is finished. You are free. You are whole. You are mine. From this night until the end of time, you are surrounded by the light that no darkness can ever comprehend. Sleep in my arms, my beloved chosen one. We will speak again in the morning, and the wonders will only continue to grow. The siege is over. The victory is eternal. Type your final amen to seal this once and for all, and welcome the first night of the rest of your glorious, peaceful life.